from a lab that they're so panicked that they're actually sending him death threats? That leads us to question number 3. Question number 1, I posed in the show again. I don't mean to backtrack a lot, but I want to keep everybody focused. Some people just tune in at the half hour and miss it. Is there a criminal investigation going on into a cover-up of this lab leak? Number 2, what are they covering up? Is this thing a bioweapon? And number 3, why all the panic and the death threats to truth tellers? Why all the panic? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, based on some sources, some friends, and some sleuthing on the internet, I believe that there's a criminal investigation going on right now into this cover-up and a pressure campaign to make this all go away. Alka-Seltzer tablet style on a water. Dissolve away, effervescent. I want a hat tip Dawson S. Field. I don't know the person behind the account, but I know the information. I retweeted it on Twitter, which I occasionally do, because the information is very good, and hat tips are always appropriate. But a couple days ago, someone had cued me into this, and I don't want to be first. I want to be right. Why do I believe there may have been a criminal, or may be right now, an ongoing criminal investigation into the effort to wipe clean this lab leak theory from the face of the earth? You're going to have to follow me here. It's not complicated. And Guy, you thought on the podcast we did it all right? Your opinion? Yeah, Guy's giving me a yes. He thought we did it slow and deliberately. Here's one of those Fauci emails we found the other day. This is interesting, and I want you to pay very, very close attention to a name and a date on it. The email is from a Peter Daszak. It's to Dr. Fauci and others, and a guy named David Morans. A couple of other folks are CC'd, and it's a thank you email. Peter Daszak, that's the name. The sent date is April 18th of 2020. That'll be important in a minute. Keep that April 18th date in your head. Peter Daszak writes, he's basically thanking Tony Fauci through this CC word. He says, I'm CCing David, so we may pass this on to you, Tony. And he says, quote, from my perspective, your comments are brave. And coming from your trusted voice, it will help dispel the myths being spun around the virus's origin. Once this pandemic's over, I look forward to thanking you in person and letting you know how important your comments are to us all. Peter Daszak, email April 18, 2020, thanking Dr. Fauci for his comments. What were Dr. Fauci's comments? What exactly was he thanking Dr. Fauci for? Well, let's flash back to April 7th, 2020, the day before Peter Daszak's email to Fauci thanking him for his comments. What were his comments? Check this out.
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there, and the sequences in bats as they evolve, and the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of the species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available to you.
So he's thanking Fauci for those comments, this guy Peter Daszak, in an email to his government email saying, hey, buddy, Val, thank you so much for those comments where you say, don't worry about this lab leak stuff. There's a paper coming out. It's all natural. Bat, pangolin, human, whatever it may be, bat soup, who knows? Fauci's right quick to the mic. I mean, I thought science was dynamic and evolving. That's what Fauci told us when he was like, don't worry about my emails. We just didn't know a lot of stuff. You sounded like you knew stuff there. You're even citing a paper. Oh, we'll get to the paper in a minute. Who wrote the paper? Wouldn't it be weird if Daszak was on that paper? He's you guys in the media, because he knows the media are really kind of dunces, and they'll follow anything he says because he's Lord Fauci, the messiah of the media. And he says, waving you off, don't worry about the lab leak, there's a paper coming out. And then Daszak thanks him for those comments. But what's really weird about this, and we're getting into, again, question 3 of this segment, why was the left panicking about this lab leak thing? You notice some circle up there, the Fox Nation viewers at home, you can see that little yellow mark on the paper there in my show notes.
You don't have a guru.
In that email from Daszak, there's a very significant redaction. The email where he's thanking Fauci.